Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Shayna Jacques. Some of you might know me for the past webinars. I'm the host. We're going to talk about how professional household management can help your loved one age in place. Our presenter today is Marci Loebel-Esrig. She's the founder and general counsel. Just a quick overview about PSS, and some of you might know about us. We are a nonprofit agency that has been founded since 1962. Um, Multi-service agency was has the mission to strengthen the capacity of all the New Yorker, their families and community to thrive. We have a large amount of educational program and other activities that are designed to help older adult to stay healthy, engaged, and connected. One of the services that we do have, and is the one I'm part of, is PSS Circle of Care, that ensure that those caring for someone who's frail, chronic care, or has memory loss are not alone. So we can provide services and connecting caregivers to find resources in the community. That's why we come with a lot of these webinars to provide these resources to the caregiver. We also serve kinship caregivers, both young and adult. Um, and our coming of age program that inspired people 50 plus to live with passion and purpose. If you want to know more about our services, please visit our website at pssusa.org, or please reach out to me. My name again is Shayna Jacques. My email address is sjacques, JACQUES at pssusa.org. We going to wait after the presentation to, if you have any question, to ask them. We have the Q&A box. You can add your questions there, or also you can use the chat box also.
Okay, so thank you everyone for attending. My name is Marci Loebel-Esrig, and I am founder and general counsel of Silverbills. And the actual presentation title is How Household Bill Management Can Help You and Your Loved Ones, not household management. I'm not an expert in that, whatever that is. But in any event, my background is I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for more than 20 years. Most recently at the New York Mets baseball team parent company, Sterling Equities. And when I was there, unfortunately, the Bernie Madoff scandal occurred or was discovered. And my company, it was found to have lost close to $500 million, as well as almost the entire 401k of the company. So I quickly became very involved with the area of financial exploitation. And at the same time, my elderly aunt was aging in her home in New York, and she was really struggling with this process of managing her household bills, not for lack of funds, but just the process became very difficult and onerous. And it became an impediment to her successfully aging in her home. And I did a lot of research and study into the intersection of those two issues. And first of all, I discovered that there was really no transparent, safe solution to the issue of managing household bills for older adults. And I also learned that certain times when individuals looked for help with that issue, they were financially exploited. And that's when I founded Silverbills. So many millions of individuals want to age in their homes, and this population is growing tremendously, as I'm sure many of you are aware, and many of you are, I assume, are caregivers. I'm not sure if I can get a sense. I see there are 13 participants. If anyone wants to share just their role, whether they're a professional or caregiver, in the chat box, that would be great. I see there are two people who, okay. I do not think the slides will be, I see there's a question about slides being emailed, and I do not think there will be slides emailed, but you can email me directly. My contact information will be provided at the end about any specific questions. Okay, so you can also in that chat box, if you'd like, just give some background as to who you are, so I can have a sense of who we're addressing here on the presentation. So the challenge is managing bills. There are various issues associated with becoming older that make this process more difficult, such as manual dexterity. So, for example, writing checks. When arthritis becomes a problem, it becomes more difficult to write out physical checks. Visual acuity issues such as macular degeneration, and many of our clients suffer from that ailment, make it difficult to read the fine print on some of the documents that come into the home that require management. Memory issues may lead to difficulties complying with deadlines for bill payments, and hospitalizations or stays in rehab facilities interrupt the ability to manage the documents that usually arrive in individuals' homes and require management. So all of these issues become more severe as individuals age. And what are the consequences of not managing bills correctly? So this is not a cosmetic issue, it's a serious issue. And we've helped clients who have faced all of these challenges. Suspension of vital services, for example, termination of heat, electricity, or hot water. Late fees can be imposed. Definitely financial exploitation, which I will address later in the presentation, and even eviction or foreclosure or guardianship. So these are very serious consequences of this problem when it is not managed correctly. And it is often the job of the caregivers to actually provide this service to their loved ones. Oh. Okay, so I talked about financial exploitation a little bit before, and as I mentioned, I am quite experienced with that issue. And what happens when people ask for help with this? They think about it as a very personal issue. So individuals may turn to their neighbors or their quote unquote friends or other people who are helping them perhaps around the house. And not to highlight the specifics of these stories, but these are just a very quick kind of ripped from the headlines. What happens when people ask for help with their household bills? They're often financially exploited. In fact, one of these stories, the bottom right, the former PTA president was a mom in my daughter's Girl Scout troop, and a neighbor of hers asked for help. And rather than actually helping, she started writing checks to herself. And this was not discovered for many, many, many months, and tens of thousands of dollars. And now she's in jail. So people view this as a kind of an informal problem, and so they turn to informal service providers. And unfortunately, financial exploitation in this country is estimated to be potentially up to $30 billion a year of a problem. I would say it's a national crisis rather than a problem. And in my opinion, it's not really being treated seriously enough. And what is often the cause of it? People needing help with writing their checks, and they're financially exploited. So this is one of the consequences. Caregivers, as you know, and I haven't gotten a sense yet of who is in the audience, but if you are caregivers, there's a lot to do. And I went to a conference last week sponsored by Aging 2.0. It's a national organization, actually international, that promotes technology in the aging space. And one of the presenters talked about, for example, when you're a caregiver of a young child, you prepare for that, right? You're either pregnant or you're getting ready to adopt, and there's anticipation of the events. You can read books, you can start networking and forming groups of people who can provide support. As a caregiver of an older adult, there's not necessarily a preparation process. Things and crises occur without any kind of warning, and it leads to being really, really overwhelmed. So When we are working with families who are in crisis and are overwhelmed, we talk about the need to outsource, to relieve some of that stress and to do what you can do best at your highest potential. And so this is an area, outsourcing household bill management, which is a new idea. It's relatively new and unknown to most people. Many individuals are well aware of the ability to outsource something like their tax preparation to CPAs or preparation of legal documents to attorneys. What we're doing is providing a safe, professional way to outsource household bill management to financial and legal professionals. And the other thing about outsourcing is it allows caregivers to spend time with their loved ones, engaging in activities that may be more emotionally rewarding than tackling a pile of paper. So it's another way that caregivers can reduce their stress and spend their time doing other activities that might be more rewarding. Oh, sorry. Again, what is the solution? It's outsourcing to professionals. So there are different service providers that provide the service of household bill management, including attorneys, accountants, and what we are, household bill managers. And I believe we're doing this in a transparent, technology-enabled way that is very cost-effective for families. What do? Silverbills receives, scrutinizes, and stores clients' household bills and ensures they're paid correctly and on time. And our clients no longer need to open bills, write checks, or worry about late fees, and continue to receive statements from their financial institutions. We have transparent technology-based systems. However, no computer use is necessary. So for example, if the customer is the older adult, and they don't need to use a computer to benefit from our services. And our customer service focus is on older adults. So we have a highly trained and skilled customer service team, and they are very equipped to handle the needs of older adults. And our fees are flat and monthly, and they're economical versus attorneys and accountants, which may be a lot more expensive. I'm trying to, oh, my clicker is not advancing. I might change the, excuse me for 1 second. I wanted to change the screen, but it's not working. Okay, so what is the process? You contact Silverbills and we provide an enrollment agreement, which is a simple contract. That's not a long-term contract. It can be cancelable at will. We ask that our clients return that contract with a voided check, and that's so that we can use that information to provide the vendors. And any document can be sent to us via text, email, hard copy, or fax, whatever is easiest for our clients. We are a concierge service, and that means we accommodate the needs of our clients. And so documents can be sent to us in any of those ways. We also provide our clients with a supply of business reply envelopes, so it makes it very easy to send things to us. No postage is necessary, and they do not have to write out an address. They simply put whatever it is they want us to handle into the mail, and we process it on our end. We receive the documents, and once we receive one sample of each bill, thereafter, we receive everything directly from the vendors. So our clients have a lot less paper or even emails to manage. If the bill is correct, it's scrutinized pursuant to reasonable and customary standards and parameters. The vendor is then authorized to deduct their monthly payment or their payment amount from the checking account, and the client receives one monthly statement in the mail rather than multiple statements from all the different vendors, and they can just relax knowing that their bills are paid correctly at our time. The advantages are that we're fully insured and the service can be canceled at any time. We employ bank level technology and real-time data, and we help prevent mistakes and late fees, missed payment, and all of the consequences that we discussed before. Oh, I'm sorry. Our interface is very simple. Our backend interface, they just click on our website, And in one place, they have all of their customer files stored, and eventually they can click through up, and they sample throughout the country with some incredible organizations. Our most recent partnership is with the New York City Department for the Aging. So the New York City Department of the Aging will pay for our services, so they are free to qualified New York City residents who are within the Department for the Aging network of either case management agencies or naturally recurring retirement communities. We also have several additional national partnerships, and the referrals from these partnerships receive a reduced fee for our services. We've also had a lot of exciting press, mostly Forbes, as well as Consumer Reports, where I was quoted discussing the need to have an online presence or the potential for co-opting of an individual presence comprised of financial and legal professionals, as well as computer science experts and marketing experts. And we were finalists in the Aging 2.0 Global Startup Competition and winners of the Palo Alto chapter event. And we're currently participating in Westchester County's Element 46 Accelerator Program. Here is contact information for me. So if you'd like any additional information, specifics, or anything of that sort, you can feel free to email me directly. And then I'm hoping if there are participants who want to ask any questions, we can open up the chat now. I see, okay, some of the panelists said that they are caregivers of in-laws and a social work professional. That's great. So we work with those service providers, particularly social work professionals throughout the country. And we often speak about how a team approach towards caregiving seems to work very well for our clients. And we are one of those team members providing the household bill management and work very well with social workers as well as other aging professionals. Are there any other questions or comments? I'm in the chat box now, so feel free to open that up. Shana, I'm not sure if are you still on the call, Shana?
I'm here.
Okay. Do you think people know how to use the chat?
Yeah, so some of the attendees are listening, and then we have some of them also that can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, there's one of the question. I don't know if you can see it.
I addressed that, both caregiver of in-laws and social work professional. Yep, I got that one.
On the Q&A, on the Q&A box.
Q&A, I'm sorry, let me go to
It's okay.
Okay, how do you deal with money that comes into the checking account at different times? So we start, Shana, would you like me to type the answer or verbally respond?
Oh, verbally, that everybody else can be able to, yeah.
Okay, so at the outset of our relationship with a client, we establish a monthly budget, and typically many of our clients are on fixed income, so they know exactly the dates of the checks that come in. So we have a predictable income stream and date for those deposits into a checking account. So that's how we accommodate different dates of cash deposits into a checking account. Anyone else with any questions? I have the chat and the Q&A screen open, and I'm happy to answer questions. Oh, okay. Sorry, open. Okay. Do you also deal with paying for assisted living fees? Yes, absolutely. Any and all payments we are able to process. So we have clients throughout the United States who reside in assisted living facilities, and we're happy to interface with those communities and receive those bills directly, analyze them, and then authorize the payment. What about reducing the debt of a senior? Okay, so well, for example, in New York City, there's the Office of Financial Empowerment, and we work with them as recommended by the New York City Department for the Aging. And that's a really incredible organization available to New York City residents who meet with individuals, and they really can help with debt reduction. With other clients throughout the country, we work with a not-for-profit debt consolidation company, and we work with them to, help individuals reduce their debt and establish better credit. It's kind of a case-by-case basis, but we will help with that. There's another question here. So hopefully, Ellen, that answered your question. Do you assist elders in obtaining a checking account if they do not have one? Okay, so we thought very carefully about the best way to provide this service in the safest way for individuals. And in my professional opinion, it is not meeting in person with individuals, because there is no way to police for theft of personal effects like jewelry or writing those checks in person. And, as we're expanding throughout the country, it's not really feasible nor necessary, in my opinion. So we will not, like, for example, accompany an individual to a bank to open a checking account. So they do have to have a checking account in place, but that's simply all they need. I mean, they don't need beyond a checking account. Will help facilitate having direct deposits made into that checking account from, for example, Social Security, et cetera. But no, we don't accompany individuals to the bank to actually open a checking account. Let's see.
Okay, let's see if anybody else. No questions. Again, thank you, Marci, for this wonderful presentation. It's very needed in the community, and we can that you can assist the seniors and with their needs. So for the PowerPoint, we don't have it. So if you have any question, as Marci mentioned earlier, please reach out to her directly so she can answer any more questions. There's another question.
Oh, yes. Hi, Ellen. So, excuse me, we have different fees based on who the referral source is. So, for example, as I mentioned, for New York City DIFTA clients, the current fee is free for the fee that we provide for individuals who come directly, for example, through our website. It's $99 a month. But if individuals refer to this presentation, and if there is a connection with PSS, we'll reduce that to $75 a month. Do you coordinate with the referral source if an issue is detected? Yes, of course. And that's why I did, and this is for Charlene. We did mention, we're not an app, we're not a startup that just started in 2019. We are seasoned legal professionals and decades of experience as fiduciaries. So that's a differentiating factor here. We're not just technology. We're actually people behind the technology. I think it's the best of both worlds. And yes, we of course coordinate with the other professionals on the team. The one thing I will say is that we are very cognizant of privacy issues, and we can only communicate with other individuals if we're granted written authorization from the direct client. So if the direct client authorizes us in writing and we have a simple form for them to fill out to do that, then yes, we will coordinate with anyone with whom we've been granted permission. And by the way, I didn't mention this before, but if an individual has a power of attorney that we've reviewed and approved, we can contract directly with the holder of that power of attorney. So that's another benefit, as long as it's a valid power of attorney. Are you setting up web-based log-on for bill paying of different accounts? Okay, so this is a question for Ellen. So this is our back-end proprietary technology. And once we get the sample from the client's work is done for the most part. So we have our proprietary software whereby we are receiving the bills.
Okay, any more questions? Again, if you want to say something, I can allow you to.
You are very welcome, Ellen. Thank you for asking such great questions.
Okay. So if we don't have any more questions, we're going to end the webinar. Again, thank you, Marcy, for the presentation. If
Thank
you
you.
have any more question for her, we can reach out. Do you have the last page? Okay, it's up. So you can reach out to her directly, or if you want to have question regarding our services for PSS, please reach out to us and or visit our website, that's pssusa.org. Again, thank you.
Thank you
And
so much. And yes, anyone who has any follow-up questions, it's
mhm,
Marci@silverbills.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I just want to say also thank you so much to PSS for having me and also for all of you for participating.
thank you.
Thank you.